about the two-back sets. You thought you're going to show a lot of those this year, and we've seen a lot, and they've had some big touchdowns on them in the passing game. Just what kind of those two-back sets kind of do when you can do a bunch of different stuff out of them? Does that make it more difficult for the defense, I guess?
Yeah, I think that's for us, that's a running set, so people have to put an extra hat in the box, and then we're able to throw the ball at it as well. So you can do both. It just makes it a little more multiple and kind of forces the defense's hand a little bit, because if they don't bring somebody down to the box, then we have numbers in the run game. So historically, one of our better passing sets has been that some of those two-back sets.
It seemed like you guys moved the ball pretty well on the ground. How did you feel about the performance this past week?
Yeah, always more to be had on the ground there, but proud of the way those guys ran and kind of finished runs, and we're kind of hitting it pretty hard. So I'd like to build on that for this week and keep the ball rolling.
Was that more about what LSU was showing, or was that having more confidence and getting Woody back and Dylan and them getting more experience? Or
I think they did a great job up front. I think they were taking care of business and moving guys around for us, and then we were able to see the holes and then hit them hard. But yeah, they're going to give you some run stuff, and we have to be able to exploit it basically.
What have you seen from Texas A&M so far?
Yeah, sound defense. They have given them some rushing yards, which is makes me excited. But really good defense. They kind of settle down when you get to the red zone goal line area. Try and keep you out of the end zone, and that's been something that we need to be better at. We need to finish this week in the end zone.
Coach O said that they actually adjusted a little bit when you guys were running the ball really well. How did they adjust their defense at all? Did you notice they adjusted anything to make it a little maybe more difficult?
They went to a 4-down front. I think then we hit about 2 passes down the field and scored a touchdown. They went back to the 3-down front after that. So that was the adjustment, and then went right back to kind of the game plan he came in with. Yeah.
what have you seen so far from Bull and Simeon on special teams? Obviously, there's a process you got to do to get on the field for offensive reps, but what have you seen from them so far on special teams?
Yeah, Simeon's turned into basically like a 4-unit guy, so he's on every one of the big 4 special teams, which is great to see. So he's getting a bunch of reps, live action. SEC play last week for him. Bull, same thing. He's gonna get shot out of a cannon on some punt return stuff, trying to block punts. The more they can do with that, then it just kind of breaks him and makes my job a little bit easier. Keeps building that trust for me and his teammates to put him out there on offense.
JJ Jr. has gotten some action the last couple games. What have you thought of him?
Had a solid camp. He's an older, savvy veteran, very smart, and one of the strongest guys I have in the room as well. So trust him to go out there in some of those sets where he's putting his hands on somebody and blocking, and always kind of executes his assignment. Catches balls and gets the ball up the field when he gets his opportunity. So great guy to have in your group, and somebody that the young guys can learn from.
You got a young group who's probably never played in an environment like this one this weekend. How do you kind of prepare them for that? What's the message going into that game?
Yeah, it's just you got to be excited. Maybe be a bunch of energy in the air. You got to use that kind of some of that negative energy for a positive for us. Kind of get us motivated. But we travel, have the same routine at home in a way, so it's same football field, same size. We're staying in a nice hotel and eating some food. So let's go out there and just do our job. Just go out and execute plays.
How much, obviously the offense has been close to clicking for 60 minutes and shown a lot of inconsistency, but how's the mood of the guys? I'm sure they see their mistakes on film and see the correctable things.
That's the thing. You're 2-3 plays away from sitting at a undefeated record. So it doesn't take a lot to go into a meeting on Sunday and you pull up 2 plays from each game and say, we win this game by 10 points, win this game by 7 points. So I think the mood is good, and I think it's challenging the guys, and they want to make sure that, again, they finish in the end zone this week instead of kind of driving the ball up and down the field without punching in for 6 points.
What do you think factored into some of those stalling drives? You mentioned kind of getting a zone close there.
Just critical mistake here or there. Turnovers will get you. We just have to be disciplined and just keep executing plays. Just whatever they give us, we got to take it. And this offense, if we're patient and just keep taking what the defense gives us, we can work our way all the way into the end zone.
Generally, what's it like being a running backs coach in an offense that passes the ball so much?
It's actually very fun. we enjoy it. Now they got a bunch of catches too. I think both those guys are probably 2 of the leading receptions in the nation for a running back position. So I think we're averaging 30 touches a game, which is more than some running teams do. Probably hand the ball off a game. So it's good. They want to be out there showcasing their skills and doing both things, and it keeps them involved in all assets. They're blocking, they're running, they're catching. So it's fun to coach them, and it's fun for those guys to go out there and do their thing.
Was that the best offensive line performance you saw against LSU this season?
I would say so. Yeah, I would say so. Obviously kept Will pretty clean all day, and then we ran for over 100 yards on the ground. So that's about what you want it to look like.
Yeah, A&M's offensive line has struggled, and it's cost their run game. Is it good to have an O-line that can produce and help you guys open up some lanes?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So those guys, just continuity as they're getting older and they're playing more together. I think again, just building off of last week. Across the board, really. Just keep on building on that chemistry and improving their own skills week to week.
You mentioned like 2-3 plays away from, being 4-0. Really, is that discouraging or is that a positive thing that you can we're that close to, if two things go our way, we're there? I mean, how do you kind of look at it? How do you spin it?
I guess it's better than being 20 plays away, right, for each win. But the biggest thing is it's exciting, but it's frustrating. It is a little bit of a process, especially with a lot of young guys out there. But I think they still see it. They still see what the end goal could be if they just keep focusing, one play at a time and finishing drive. So morale is good, and hopefully you come out there, firing again this week and on that first drive.
How much do you think that signifies just the progress made? Because it's been a while, but it hasn't been a while, because you had the COVID season last year, then you go into this year, and it seems like a pretty significant improvement from last year over like a relatively short period of time.
Yeah, no, this feels like year one. This feels like, okay, we had a spring football, we had a fall camp, and here we are in the field. So it's you try and be as patient as possible, but it's tough when you're a play away from winning those two games that we should have. So it's I think we're progressing. It's not where we want to be. We want to score more touchdowns. We want to finish more drives, that type of thing. But there's definite progress. But again, we need to keep week by week, taking the next step.